I've written this story as if Tails and Amy were still young and unknown to the joys of sex. To give it a better storyline, imagine a lemon with a storyline. Also, my skills at wordplay still suck, so please don't flame me to do any poor writing skills. Just enjoy. Thank you. P.S. Room to review. Amy and Tails were playing cards on the floor of Tails' hut. Ha! Snap! Tails yelled and grabbed all the cards on the floor. Amy pouted. No fair, Tails. You can a little louder than me. She folded her arms and stared at the floor. Tails put down the pack in his hand and sighed. Amy, it's just a game. Come on. Besides, you won all the matches yesterday. Amy smiled, looking up. Yeah, I did beat you. Really good. She gave a giggle, and she always did when she was happy. She sat down on the edge of Table's bed and dangled her feet over the edge. Tails looked up at her. What did Aunt Bunny teach you at school yesterday? He asked. Amy looked down at him from her perch. Okay. We were doing all about our bodies and how they work. Tails closed his eyes and poked out his tongue. Ew, sickly. Amy put a paw to her mouth to hide her smile. It wasn't insides and stuff. We did the outside. We got to see pictures of furs with no clothes on, too. Tails' eyes snapped open and he sat up on his knees. Really? Like all naughty and stuff? Yeah, totally. Amy nodded, grimming. Tails could feel a strange tingling between his legs. This is where it all starts, I guess. Something he had before, but not often. Usually in the morning after he got up. Where did Aunt Bunny get those pictures from? He asked, deeply intrigued. She got that from a big cupboard full of long tubes. She rolled it up and put it back when we had finished. In the schoolhouse, Tails inquired. Amy nodded. Yeah. Tails glazed over briefly while a picture formed in his head. Is the schoolhouse still unlocked? Do you think? He whispered. Amy blinked. I guess so. It's not late, but there's no one there to teach right now. Tails smirked, causing Amy to give a start and blink at him worriedly. Are you planning something, Tails? She asked a bit nervously. The little fox nodded. Yeah. Do you remember which tube she put the pictures in? Amy looked up at the ceiling, thinking. Yeah, it was a brown one with a blue lid with the letters FBP on it. Why? Tails grinned. I'm gonna go get it. With that, he opened the door and flew off into the afternoon sky. Amy grasped and ran to the door, unable to stop the little boy fox, since he could not fly or run fast. Or she, but yet. After a brief interlude, in which Amy sat worryingly about the trouble Tails could get into, he returned with the tube. He grinned and sat down on the floor triumphantly. Amy glared at him. You could have gotten us into trouble doing that. You know we're only allowed in the schoolhouse during school hours. Tails nodded. Yes, but Aunt Sally is always saying we could do extra school stuff. He managed to finally blurt out. Amy shrugged and nodded. I guess. Tails popped the lid off the tube and pulled the poster out. He unrolled it and spread it out on the bed. His eyes and mouth shut open as he gazed at the pictures, a male and a female wolf, both fully naked, with their intimate parts visible. It was a while before he spoke. Aunt Bunny was showing you this? He shouted. Amy nodded, her mouth not moving a bit. The little fox grinned and gazed more at the pictures, admiring the male wolf's anatomy. Wow, he's big, he said. Don't you think so, Amy? He turned to her to see the female hedgehog standing back against the wall and her hands covering her mouth. He frowned and tilted his head a little. What's wrong? He asked, genuinely concerned. Amy's gloved paw pointed at the boy's lower body. He followed her gazing finger and gasped as he saw what she had noticed. The little boy's sheath has retracted fully, and his deep red penis has become fully erect. He squealed and covered himself with his paws, blushing. Sorry, I didn't mean for that to happen. I guess the pictures made me happy. Amy remained quiet, almost frozen in her state. Tails rolled his eyes. Oh, come on. You saw the picture at school. What are you embarrassed about seeing another one? Amy pulled her paws away and swallowed. Yours is bigger, she said. Her voice hoarse and high-pitched. Tails blinked and grinned. Yeah, I guess it is, kind of. He slowly walked over to her. It's nothing to be afraid of, though, really. Slowly he pulled his paws away from his crutch, exposing himself fully to Amy. She stared down at it. It slowly became accustomed to the sight of it. She looked up into his eyes. Does that happen all the time? She asked quietly. Tails shook his head. Nah, usually in the mornings, or when I see something special, like the poster. He sneaked another look at it, and his erect penis rolled his head upwards like a spring. Amy squealed and stepped back. It's moving, she cried. Tails chuckled. It's natural. It won't hurt you. You can touch it if you like. Amy shook her head. No. Not yet, anyways. Tails pointed to the female picture. Do you like it when you're not wearing your dress? Amy looked over the picture again and shrugged. Kind of, but not exactly like that. Tails blinked. How not exactly? He inquired.